We're going to begin, though, with that landmark Supreme Court decision, you've heard about it, which redefined the power of the office of the president. Now, the court ruled that the official acts of sitting presidents are immune to criminal prosecution even after they leave office. Now, you should know there is no precedent for a decision like this because, until now, we've never had a former president who has faced criminal charges like Donald Trump. So what does this mean for Trump's legal cases and for the presidency itself? We'll try to answer that as well as explain what the decision actually said. Jan Crawford at the Supreme Court is going to help us with that first part of the question. Jan, good morning. Some people are interpreting this to mean that the president is above the law. What do you say? What can you tell us?
Not exactly, by any means. I mean, this ruling basically sends the case back to a lower court to decide which acts of former President Trump are unofficial and can still be criminally prosecuted. But that could take time. It's very hard to see how this trial will start before November's elections.
In an historic decision, the Supreme Court ruled for the first time that former presidents have some immunity from prosecution, though Chief Justice John Roberts, writing for the majority, said not everything the president does is official. The president is not above the law, noting a president's unofficial acts could be prosecuted, possibly including those made as a candidate or party leader.
You have to give a president full and total immunity.
The court rejected former President Donald Trump's sweeping claims he was absolutely immune from prosecution for his actions around January 6. But it said presidents must have some immunity to execute the duties of his office fearlessly and fairly, and so official acts are largely shielded from prosecution. The 6-3 decision sharply divided the justices along ideological lines. Justice Sonia Sotomayor wrote a fiery dissent for the liberals, expressing her fear for our democracy and saying the decision makes the president now a king above the law. That prompted an unusually fierce response from Roberts, accusing the dissent of fear-mongering on the basis of extreme hypotheticals. The court emphasized the lasting significance of its decision well beyond Trump, noting concerns about opening a Pandora's box of criminal prosecutions of former presidents. Trump hailed the court's ruling, writing the decision was a big win for our Constitution and democracy, while President Biden spoke out last night, siding with the dissent.
This is a fundamentally new principle, and it's a dangerous precedent, because the power of the office will no longer be constrained by the law.
But the High Court's decision does allow Special Counsel Jack Smith to prosecute Trump for private acts, and deciding what those are now falls to Judge Tanya Chutkan, who is overseeing the federal election interference case.
This is not the end of the prosecution of Donald Trump. I strongly suspect that Jack Smith will find allegations that he thinks survive, and Judge Chutkan, more importantly, will find allegations that she thinks survive.
Now, last night, Trump's legal team did send a letter citing the decision and asking the judge in his New York hush money trial to overturn his criminal conviction. That is a stretch, to say the least. It seems perhaps more an effort to delay his sentencing, which is now set for July 11th. Tony?
Jan, got it very much. Thank you very much.